I've This is vid number 3 for the day. I've um I've talked many times about the chakra system and activating the chakras and the difference between opening and activating chakras and about increasing the light body and the ascension initiations, which are nothing more than the various expansions of the light body. And spoken about the Merkaba and about bringing heaven to earth, about bringing our spiritual selves into the physical being, merging it into the physical being, and the relationship of the yin symbols, the you know earth or the space pointing pyramid, and then the uh, earth symbols, the yang symbol, the yin and the yang, and how as they merge, the heavens forces and the earth's forces, how that is pictured by the Star of David, which is also the symbol for the three-dimensional star tetrahedron, both the male force and the female force, or the female force and the male force, and the overlapping the two, resembling the Star of David, which is the symbol for the Merkaba. Okay, so it all fits together. It's all part of the same thing. And all that symbology, that the metaphysical symbology of all that has been to describe that which humanity, and definitely so many of us light workers and light warriors who are activating ourselves, are doing right now. And we are bringing heaven's forces, our spiritual selves, our soul, or on the next level of initiations, the monad, into the physical being, which is our earth's forces, and that which allows us to walk around this planet and experience this life, this earth suit, or our earth transportation mechanism. We're bringing as much of that higher self into this physical being as we possibly can on the various levels. And there's so many various levels of that. And those various levels are nothing more than different expansions of that into our physical being. And each different level is a dimensional level. And it brings in a different level of awareness that is on, at first it's just on a planetary level. And then when you learn how to, and that's when you're dealing with your crown chakra. And then when you learn how to go out into your soul chakra, you're dealing on a solar level. And then your next chakra is dealing on a galactic level. And your next chakra, your Melchizedek chakras, or universal chakras, dealing on a universal level. And then there's even more chakras past that. But for the most part, that's about the ones that people can truly understand here, in physical form on planet, unless you've been here for a while. And so, anyway, all you're doing is expanding your being and learning how to elevate your consciousness to attune to those various chakra levels. And that's what these solar flares are all about. Is they're about busting up the density, busting up those toxins that are within our body, both on a cellular chemical level as well as emotional level. We have emotional toxins. We have we have quantum level things that we're releasing right now from our physical beings, and that we've carried for many, many lifetimes. And we're rearranging the DNA coding within our physical beings so that we can become our God selves in physical form. We can become creator gods here on earth in physical form. At one time, everybody on this planet, we all were. We come to Earth School to experience the duality, to learn lessons, to experience those things that we can't do in higher vibrations. So we take physical form and play these karmic games, which allow us to experience that. And part of what we're going through at this time with all the increased vibrations is we're releasing all that all the things that have built up in us from many different lifetimes on an emotional, traumatic level, as well as ways that we've thought and perceived reality to be, which we had to separate ourselves from our God selves to be able to totally experience this separation and duality. And so, and then we've got a group, the Illuminati, that has tried to keep this ascension process from occurring, and they're like our, big spiritual drill instructors. That's basically what they've been for those of us that have been fighting them here for so long, trying to keep humanity from getting wiped out. And they're coming down, and so part of what we have to do now to take it to the next level is to forgive and to release any hurt, any traumatic experiences, any anger, any vengeance, which creates karma if we do it and keep on doing this battle again and again and again. Every life we're playing out more karmic levels. And that's part of why my first, and this is the third video today, my first video was about the Illuminati's coming down. We've got to release those fears that we've had, because the Illuminati did try to kill us for a long time. And it still is in the plans. They're still going to try something here at the London Olympics coming up. And it might, I had a good light worker friend tell me earlier that it might take a nuclear bomb going off in London to actually wake up the planet and to see what the Illuminati's doing. Because there's so many of us that know what they're doing, and we're telling the story, but so much of humanity still can't believe it, even though the cycle's coming to an end and we're taking out the banking system and cutting the head off the beast right now. So few of humanity can still come to grips because they're in their head, believing all the illusion out there is, reality, which it is in one way. But on a higher level, when you shift from your head into your heart, you learn that you control the illusion and what you experience through your thought process and through the emotions that you put out there. And that's how the illusion that you experience as reality in your life comes back to you. So if you're happy and in love, it comes back to you in a loving way of being. If you're a little poop and you're thinking everything's negative, then your life is going to be experienced in a negative way. Same thing. But we're getting ready to take it to a new level. And as the Illuminati comes down, we do not want to be wanting vengeance on these people and to harm them. We're wanting to wake them up to what the game was. And that's where so many light workers right now are having such a problem. And if you really, really, really understand the game, you have to understand we have to let it go. We have to let it be okay, because it was a game, because they helped anchor the dark side so we could have this experience. And then you've got to detox those negative vibrations, that old fear, that old anxiety that we always had, because these guys could come take us out at any point. And those of us like me were going, no, don't do that, because I won't have my mission complete here on planet. I won't be here to help ascend Mother Earth, and that's what we came here to do. But remember, those fears are all of a lower energy. And as we are moving from the duality of our brain into our hearts and learning to think and perceive reality from the heart, realizing that it's all an illusion, we have to let go of those lower densities and those lower ways of thinking and being. And all that is getting detoxed. But that's a process that, as we release that negativity and those fears, it allows more of the higher vibrations to come in. And the higher vibrations take the place of those lower vibrations. these solar flares coming in, and this is the first major one that is directed, I mean, directly at Earth, that hit day before yesterday. Um, we're going to have many, many more of these in the remaining part of 2012 and 2013, and it is not going to be over until the end of 2015. But this is all designed to shake it. Well, in one way, these higher vibrations are nothing but love, because love is the highest vibration of every dimension. You can also think of the highest vibration as being light, which is information. Truly, love and light are the same vibration, and it is these waves that are these frequencies that are being sent to us from the sun at this point. As we started entering the galactic center, with our galaxy and solar system being aligned, the photon belt is coming in, and it is affecting the sun. The sun is also right now at a point of magnetic flip, and it's looking like there could be two positive and negative poles coming out of the sun when this changes, which is going to be very interesting. I mean, how do you have something like that? That's like a magnet with two poles. That's going to be really cool to see. But what's happening is the sun, Helios, the spiritual entity that embodies the sun, takes the galactic waves from the galactic center, that which many people term as heaven, and the waves that are sent to the sun, he steps them down, and then it's sent back out to the other planetary beings as a step down energy. And it's done by solar flares and proton and all these different magnetic radiation blasts that we have. And that is used to change humanity. And so these magnetic radiations that are coming in is raising the frequency of the individuals that are incarnate here on Earth. And as it raises the frequencies, it helps to detox them. It helps to break loose the calcification on the pineal, helps to expand the pituitary, helps the veil to disappear. That veil that separates us as being incarnate souls from knowing that all this is an illusion and we're truly creator gods, and we are actually making our illusion by the thought. The thought comes before the illusion. Some people think that life happens to them and then you think about that. No, it's the thoughts and the emotions that you're putting out into the field that returns in the illusion manifesting as reality. It's like a hologram. It's like the holodeck on Star Trek. It's the same exact thing. And anyway, these higher vibrations are allowing all the veils to get dropped and allowing our physical beings to decalcify and detox. And by doing that, we can hold more light and come more into our creator selves, into our God selves incarnate here on Earth. We get to embody more and more light, more and more that is us. And you have to remember, you are all that is. Although you are a different fragment of all that is than I am, you still have the potential to embody as much of that spiritual energy as you can get into your physical form. And by expanding, by embodying more and more, that spiritual energy is your light, and it expands your light body. And you hit a point where you've embodied all your soul, and then you're going to embody the monad, and then you're going to embody your more angelic self, and then your more archangelic self. And the process of ascension is just the going back. How much more light can you embody? How much more can you be into your physical being? How much more knowledge can you have? The light is knowledge. The light is vibration. The light is your God self. The light is you. And that's what we're all doing. And we're coming up on our creative powers. We do that. We're down to the end of this one. 4, 3. Love you guys. 3, 2, 1. Bye.